Okay, so please excuse my voice. I'm not going to stop doing these videos just because I'm sick, because this is an assignment that I am on and I have to do it because I have to release this and get this out. So I just want to share the situation when I decided to leave. And this was in 2015. The situation was I felt and thought that we were reconciling, my children's father and I, because I had left Phoenix, Arizona to reconcile with him, and we had went to Denver, moved to Denver because that's where he was working. And while we were looking for a place to live in Denver, it just wasn't cost effective for us. So he said, let's go back to his hometown, which was Missouri. I did not want to do it. I refused to do it because it was like, I've been there, done that. And every time we ended up going back there to his hometown, things never worked out. Over time, I was convinced to go back there, especially looking at the prices of the homes and, trying to get a place to live. That's what really convinced me to go back. So I went back. And, things were okay for a while. But I had a friend that was my support system. And she would call me every day. She was actually a chaplain friend of mine. And we just made a vow that we were going to pray and fast together because we needed to see God do something amazing in our marriages. So we would call each other every day, and no matter what happened, we would talk to each other sometimes multiple times a day just because we needed it. Sometimes I was supposed to pray, and other times she was supposed to pray. We had like everything set up, but there were times when we didn't want to pray because of what we were going through, and the other person just stepped in. Had it not been for my support system, I would not have had the strength to leave. But I was able, with the fasting and the praying, to get clear instruction from God on what to do. So one evening, it was January of 2015, and my husband at the time had beat my son, and he whipped him multiple times across his back where there were multiple bruises on his back. When I saw that, I was just astounded, and I went to him and I said, you know what? This is not good. I do not like this at all. And he literally told me, you're stupid. Says, okay. So me and my kids went to sleep. I just prayed about it. Woke up the next morning. I went to my son and I was looking at his back. I was not happy with it. I had even taken pictures of his back. So as I was talking to my son, we decided that we were going to call the police. We snuck out of the house. We went across the street to a neighbor's and we called the police. The police showed up. They went inside the house and they arrested him. During the time that they took him to jail, me and my kids, we packed up everything that we possibly could. We took it to a storage unit, and there was a car that he was driving. My children's father was driving, and he would never let me drive the car. There were even times that when he would pull the car into the garage, I would literally go into the car and just sit. Like sometimes I would talk on the phone. Well, he started locking the car doors while it was inside the garage. And I'm sitting up here thinking like, that makes no sense at all. Well, that day that he got arrested, he left his keys and his wallet. So I was able to go into the car And I was actually able to drive the car for the very first time after living together for a good maybe 6 to 8 months. So when I got the keys and everything, got the storage unit, we just back and forth, taking stuff from the house to the storage unit, from the house to the storage unit. And I was literally able to escape that environment, and I was keeping really close tabs with the detectives over the case. And the detective, she told me, she's like, hey, we're getting ready to release him, which was like 24 hours later. And that was my cue. I had to get out of town. And that was the moment when I got my kids, we got the car, and we drove from Missouri all the way to Arizona. And that was the moment that I had decided that I was not going back to live in that situation again.